Good afternoon. If you're still tuning in or if you've joined us, this is Lunchtime News, and we posed a question to you before we got to this side of the studio where we're going to be talking about our savings culture. The question is, are you saving? And if you're saving, what saving instrument are you using? Are you saving on your mobile money platform? Are you saving in the bank, at the SACCO? Where are you saving? And if you're not saving, why aren't you saving? This afternoon, it's all about inculcating a saving culture, focusing on the youth, given that it is a global money week that runs from the 20th to the 26th. And to take us through this conversation is none other than the managing director at Postbank, Raphael Lekolool. Karibu sana, and thank you very much for your time.
Asante sana.
Let me just start off with a question that we're posing to our viewers this afternoon. Are you saving?
Yes, definitely.
Which instrument are you saving with?
I have instruments in banking. I have a savings account. I also save in government bonds. And I also have other, what we'd call the Kenyan saving of having a kaka plot somewhere.
So you've invested in an asset in this way of saving. Now, when we look at the saving culture where we are as Kenya, we are ranked very poorly. Why do you think we're not saving as we should?
Going to what this week is all about, Global Money Week, just teaching the young and giving them an opportunity to learn on how to save. We have been failing in terms of giving our youth and the young this idea that they need to be saving. And we have not really progressed in them appreciating the value of money and that there is a tomorrow that they need to plan for. When you look at this Global Money Week theme for this year is plan your money, plan to your future. It's a conversation that we need to be inculcating in our youth so that they know that there's a future tomorrow, that they will need money tomorrow. So this idea of spending all the money that you have today, forgetting that there's a tomorrow you will need to survive on, and there's money that you need to survive on tomorrow, is what's really lacking. So there's that culture of people not appreciating what savings is. And we are glad that this conversation is really coming on the table, especially with what His Excellency the President has been talking about in terms of savings. And when you look at the Hustler Fund, the way it's been structured, there is a savings component which is inbuilt in it, so that as much as you borrow, you still also have an opportunity to save and get a savings at the end of the day. So that's what's there.
But now your primary target is the youth, and they fall under the generation Z and X, who believe you live once. I get money today, I spend my money today, tomorrow will take care of itself. Yeah. Are you working on a program to actually, tweak, because this, I think you're calling for mind change and behavior change among this primary target. Is there a particular program that is directed towards this so that they can come on board? It's one thing to say that you need to, but am I seeing the need to save?
Yes, Regina, we are working on that very much. And when you look at the products from where we sit, the products that have been put, especially to address the youth, the digital products to enable them to save, we've made it very, very easy, because we realize that from our generation where people would have to go to the bank and take money and bank in those banking halls, that generation is no longer the same. We have put digital platforms, and in conjunction with our other partners, we've enabled the youth to be able to save. When I look at some of the products that are there in the market, not just from Postbank, but from other banks, depositing funds in an account has been made very easy. All what you need to do is load your money into an M-Pesa account, and in 2 seconds, it will be reflected in your account when you transfer it. So all those opportunities have been made. We've taken an extra step at Postbank to have agents in all our key areas. We have over 500 agents in the mashinani, and we call them mashinani agents. And they're able to take your deposits at that point where you're doing your business. So you don't have to go looking for a branch. Out of the 97 branches we have an additional 500 agents who will be able to bank for that customer.
Now, from where you sit, and as I'm looking as a banker, and you're approaching the youth who would tell you, I do not have money to save. Do we wait until we have money, or is there, I mean, how would you answer that question? You're asking me to save, I have no money.
That comes to what we're talking about today, Global Money Week. And when you look at that culture, you have to start from there. When you look at raising awareness and the importance of ensuring that the young people understand from an early age and that they're financially aware and they accept and get that discipline, that's when you should start. Because once you have the culture in place and that understanding, then it's very easy. So that when you go to the workplace or when you're doing your normal business and you get 100 shillings or 200 shillings, you can say, I'll spend 80 shillings, 20 shillings, I will save. I will get 1,000 bob today, I will save 200. So roughly what I'm talking about, if you put like 20% of whatever amount you're having, and when you start from that small, when this money grows, it'll be much easier for you to save because the culture will have been with you, the discipline will have been with you, and it will be very easy. And as the British used to say, take care of the pennies and the shillings will take care of themselves. So if you learn to take care of those pennies when it's still small, when you reach to the shillings, it'll be much easier for you to save.
So what I'm hearing in your sensitization program, or rather awareness program, is that you're not targeting necessarily those who are already working. You're talking at a demographic that even hasn't started earning, so that we can have and we can be encultured to actually save. Correct?
Yes, definitely.
Now let's come back to the saving instruments. Word on the street is you'll see most people wanting to save in assets as land. Yes. And there are those who would want to save within SACCOs, saying that the rates are good. From a banker, maybe you can now tell us the truth. What we do not hear whenever we walk into our various credit institutions, so to speak. Where would you advise a person who has just immediately started working and wants to save for the future?
All of these are personal preferences and also taking personal discipline, because if I'm to say that I'm saving in my own savings account, this money in a bank is available to me 24/7. So if I don't have the discipline of saying I'm not going to touch that money,
we often don't. We do not have that discipline.
Half the time is I'll save it when it reaches 5, 10, 20,000. A need will come up and I'm going to remove it. So if I know I don't have that discipline of being able to say, I will not be able to foot 1 or 2 bills with these savings, then I will be able to save. Then there are those others who have this tendency of saying, it's better it's removed early enough and be taken to a cooperative. Because if you want to get money from the cooperative, the minimum it will take you is 6 months, and you'll have guaranteed other people. So that means until those other people finish repaying their loans, you will not have access to that money. So there are those people who will say, okay, let me put it here, save it, and then when I grow old, when I've stopped guaranteeing other people, then I'll take this money out of the institution. Then there are those who will say, okay, the interest rates in bonds are good. Yes, I'll go to central bank and then I'll be buying bonds and then I'll be saving as I grow. But the easiest, and I say the journey usually starts with the bank. If you learn to save, because for you to build up that capacity, you need to start learning from what I said, from those small amounts. Let it build up to a substantial amount. Then you can go for these other instruments in savings, which will offer you better attractive rates. I was just looking at a calculation today. If you to save 100 shillings, let's say you're a boda person or you're makanga somewhere, and you're earning 200-300 bob a day. If you put 100 shillings a day out of 30 days, you will be having 3,000. At the end of the year, you'll be having 36. And if you put an interest of 5%, you will be having almost 38,000. Look at that, in 10 years, you'll be having almost 500,000 shillings. So if you do that, you'll just be saving what you're able to afford, but put it in an instrument where you say, this one I'll not be able to touch. And when you look at some of the products we have at Postbank, there are those which will give you those returns, and they will not make that money available to you. If you have to come, then you have to come to the bank and fill in forms. There's a process, and you'll have some penalties on it, which will discourage you from removing the funds. So we've structured all those products to suit the needs and
of your various clientele or other savers by characteristic and state. Now, as you work towards the close of this particular conversation, it's a current Global Money Week, and Postbank is charged with, inculcating a savings culture. Will we achieve? Where do you see us in the next 5 years when it comes to savings?
The journey has started. When you look at Vision 2030, yes, the government put in place mechanisms to ensure that Kenyans at least reach that goal of 30%. When you look at us in terms of where we are in the region, we are way behind. When you look at us in the global index, the global index rate is around 23-24%. We are almost 10% off that. So we have a journey that we need to move as a country. I know for us at Postbank, we've been targeting schools, we've been going there, we've been targeting groups, and also employers who have opportunities for us to come in and train their personnel or their staff. We normally go and train them. And when you look at our branches, we have 97. We are available in all corners of the country. We are available and able. So we go to the marketplace and we talk to the people there. The good thing with us, we are talking about savings. Half the people who want credit also attend, so that they also learn that before you even go for credit, make some savings, because money is expensive. If you have to go out there to look for it, it's very expensive. Why don't you save the little that you're able to get, so that you save yourself from borrowing, which is expensive.
Very well said. And we end it at that note. We have been speaking to none other than the managing director at Postbank, that is Raphael Lekolool, saying that in as much as you do not have so much in your pocket, just 20% of what you have. If it's 100 shillings, 20% of 100 shillings is 20 shillings. So think about 20% of what you have and save it. As I say, money is expensive, especially if you do not have savings. It's a Global Money Week that runs from the 20th to the 26th.